If you remember, there was a time I voiced my criticism towards Huohuo's kit, which seemed to be a mix of healer and support. Among content creators, I was likely the most vocal on this matter. I argued that Abundance's role should solely focus on healing and do something related to healing only, and an ambiguous kit like Huohuo is ruining that experience. My comments sparked controversy among Huohuo fans. Well, now it's about to happen again. You know, I'm a firm believer that when a developer creates a game, they must stick to the original design and its accompanying rules. Honkai Star Rail was designed to have two categories defining characters' abilities, skills, and roles in combat: element and path system. It doesn't have the concept of subclass like in Baldur's Gate or mix archetype like in Ashes of Creation. All we have is element and path. Element is an affinity system that is key to Honkai Star Rail's signature mechanic, Elemental Break. Meanwhile, path is the game's terminology to classify the unit's role in battle, like the classic class system in RPGs. Currently, there are 7 playable paths: Hunt, Erudition, Destruction, Harmony, Nihility, Abundance, and Preservation. Each of these paths boasts unique traits as shown in this infographic I made during the beta. While there may be a few exceptions, this was the intended framework. Very simple, yes, but that's kind of the point. Honkai Star Rail is meant to be a game that is easy to pick up and easy to understand while still offering some depth through puzzling battles. It's part of the accessibility design, evident in its streamlined gameplay featuring only 3 command inputs: basic attack, skill, and ultimate. A subclass or mixed archetype system goes against that philosophy, and I also oppose that. Before we move further, I'd like to take you to watch some clips from videos I published over a year ago to prove that this opinion isn't something I made up overnight. I published this video before the second closed beta test. In this video, I talked about a killer feature in a game I played in the past called Million Arthur. I haven't seen any other mobile turn-based RPG implement this feature, so I was hoping that Hoyoverse would do it, considering they already have experience with creating co-op features in Genshin Impact. Another video was released after I finished the third closed beta content. As you can see, those are the exact same words I say today: specific role, simple mechanics, puzzling boss battles, and cooperative raid battle. My perspective towards this stuff remains unchanged. Basically, I prefer a turn-based game that makes players spend more time solving the battle instead of learning their team combo and shit. Some games try so hard to look cool by having dozens of command inputs and intricate mechanics, so players are already stressed enough from learning how their team works, leaving little to no energy left for actual battle. No, fuck those games. I saw something that resonates with my philosophy in Honkai Star Rail, and that's why I decided to pick it up. However, these days I feel like they have started to depart from it. Slowly but surely, the path system seems to be losing significance, reduced to mere titles. Everyone is starting to do something their path shouldn't be doing. We have Preservation and Abundance that are performing tasks like a full-fledged Harmony, Nihility that deals way too much damage, Erudition that rivals Hunt's damage output in single-target scenario, and soon, we'll have a healer pretending to be a DPS. What's next? A Hunt character dealing AoE damage? Oh, I can see that coming. That will fix my issue with pure fiction. If changing the game mode is not possible, then let's make Hunt characters relevant in pure fiction by giving them AoE attack. Makes perfect sense, right? What purpose does the path serve now beyond mere association with an Eon? I used to be pissed before, but right now I don't care anymore because apparently the majority of players love it when characters can do so many things, even if they blur the lines between roles. I'll pretend that path doesn't exist, and we'll just call them based on what their kit does. So, let's talk about Gallagher, the upcoming fire DPS who has a bit of healing power. His kit was introduced in the version 2.1 special program, and yesterday Hoyoverse published a preview page for him. Gallagher's gameplay seems centered around spamming his ultimate to unleash his enhanced basic attack. His normal basic attack functions similarly to others, except for Black Swan, dealing damage equal to 100% of Gallagher's attack to one enemy at level 6. But after he uses his ultimate, this basic attack is enhanced. The enhanced version also deals damage to one enemy, but I'm sure the multiplier is increased. Otherwise, why would it be called an enhanced basic attack if the multiplier is the same? Additionally, it also reduces the enemy's attack for a certain duration. This ultimate to enhanced basic attack sequence is where most of his damage comes from. Hence, why I can already imagine that Gallagher is going to need an energy recharge rope to speed up his meter. The ultimate itself is an AoE attack, so in this one turn, he will act like a mix of erudition and hunt character. However, Hoyoverse doesn't want us to forget that his path is abundance. So they give him a skill that does only one thing: heal one ally. That's it, no extra effect. I laughed so hard when I read this skill description for the first time because it almost looks like they're trolling. I mean, look at this. This has to be the shortest skill description Hoyoverse has ever written. Upon hitting the enemies with his ultimate, Gallagher inflicts a status called Besotted. If you're wondering what this is, the explanation is in his talent. Enemies with Besotted status will receive extra break damage, and every time they're attacked, the attacker's HP will be restored. His element happens to be fire, which has the strongest initial break damage along with physical. With this talent effect, it's actually a good idea to build Gallagher as a breaker by stacking break effect. Even though he'll need an energy recharge rope instead of break effect rope, it shouldn't be a problem as Hoyoverse already thinks of the solution. There is this new Abundance Light Cone in the Forgotten Hall shop that increases the wearer's break effect by 48% at superimposed 5. It can substitute the break effect rope. Now let's move on to his traces. The first trace increases Gallagher's healing output based on his break effect. Number is still undisclosed. The second trace immediately advances his next action forward after using ultimate. Basically, Sushang's ability. And the third trace, when Gallagher attacks an enemy that is in besotted state using his enhanced basic attack, the healing effect from his talent will affect his teammates as well. I actually have pre-farmed relics for my Gallagher. I put them on Chi-Chi right now. My Gallagher will be built as hybrid DPS, investing in both his crit and break effect. The stat is not too bad. He'll have around 60% crit rate, 130% crit damage, and 130% break effect. I can't wait to give these pieces to Gallagher next week. We've seen healers with attacking ultimate before, that is Luocha, or preservations with attacking ultimate like March 7th and Fushuan. However, you can clearly tell the distinction in mentality between Gallagher and those guys. While others lack an offensive combo, Gallagher is clearly intended to be played as a DPS, with the healing aspect serving as a mere bonus. I'm sure starting from now, we'll see more of this kind. Eventually, we might reach a point where every party member fulfills a DPS role. This is what happens when you design the endgame content around stat check over puzzle solving. Players are increasingly pressured to deal a specific amount of damage within a set number of cycles. This results in scenarios where players exclaim, "My main DPS isn't strong enough. I need a second character to help deal damage," and then escalates to, "2 damage dealers aren't sufficient. I need my support capable of dealing damage as well," and eventually to, "3 damage dealers aren't cutting it either. Now the entire party needs to deal damage to make me pass this stat check." It's both ridiculous and concerning. Acheron is coming, and she's rumored to be the strongest character in the game, as if Jingliu is not busted enough. How will they balance the game after Acheron? Increasing the enemy's stat in memory of chaos again? Perhaps it's time to stop this power creeping and refocus on puzzles. Let's prioritize strategic challenges over sheer force. Please, Hoyoverse?